Hey guys, it's Jackie from Jack Gets Lost on a Book Hole. I tried to make this video earlier this morning, but work surprised me and called me by the time I finally, I got most of the video done, but then I was, at the part where the reason I wanted to make this video in the first place when they called me, and of course I wasn't going to ignore it. Because, granted, they could have left me a message, and then I would have called them back, but I didn't want to have to go through the trouble of calling them back. So, especially when I knew why they were calling me. See if I could come in. So I thought I would update you guys on my reading life right now. And also I have these beauties that I have to wear now. I'm not blind or anything. I never wore contacts. I wore glasses when I was like 2 years old, and I even wore an eye patch because I actually had a lazy eye, which is basically a wandering eye. Like, I could be looking at you, but then my other eye would be going in a totally different direction. But we did get it fixed with, multiple surgeries. In fact, the doctor that I had, he got to know our family pretty well. But then, I hadn't had to go back. It's slowly the visits lessened over time, and then I stopped going there, and then we moved here to North Carolina, and it would be ridiculous for me to go all the way to Baltimore. And then my mom, it had been a few years, and my mom decided it was time for me to get a checkup, to check on my eyes. And we went and apparently when I do things like watch TV, I watch with the one eye, my right eye, and then my left eye is not as good, which I guess, and that's the same problem my mom has. So I had to get these beauties. And, like I said, I don't have to, it's not like I need them for reading or anything. In fact, when I was testing them out and wearing them when I got them in the mail yesterday, and it was, when I tried to read my book, I didn't take them off, and it was a little blurry, so, that just proves. But then later that evening, and I guess because my eyes were getting used to these, it wasn't that bad. Although today when I was looking at my phone with these on, it was a little blurry. So that's not exactly a book thing, but it is kind of related to books because, sometimes you need glasses to read. Not that like I said, I don't technically, but it kind of, it's kind of in the same. So first I wanted to talk about what I am currently reading right now. This book's at. I'm right now, I've gotten, I think 3 books done this month so far. There's Animal Farm, which I did a review on that one. A Secret History, which I did a sort of review on that one. And what was the third one? I don't remember. I know there was a third one that I read. This Is Where I Leave You, which is a good family drama about a dysfunctional family. It's actually based on this is the book that the movie starring Jason Bateman and Jane Fonda and Tina Fey, and what is his name? Adam Driver, the guy who plays the new version of Darth Vader. I know he's not actually called Darth Vader, but I don't know what the character's name is. But basically the new bad guy. It's the same actor who plays the new villain in the latest. Why did I say Batman? I meant Star Wars, not Batman. Star Wars. Really sorry. I should not be getting those mixed up. That'd be really stupid, and it's not like they have nothing in common. It's not like it's not like with Star Wars and Star Trek where they both have star in the title and they both take place in outer space. Although people would still get mad at you if you got those two mixed up. Which, I can't entirely blame them at the same time. It's okay, it was an honest mistake, people. But so I got that one, but it's a good movie. If you like dysfunctional family drama, then you might, and no, it's not like that soap opera type drama. It's just the gritty family, They're all kind of messed up, and stuff, all kind of like August Osage County. If you've seen that movie, it's kind of like that. But anyway, so I started reading this one, The Kiss of Deception. I finally got around to reading this trilogy, and I actually last time I went to the bookstore, well, not last time, because the last time I went to the bookstore, the last time I went to a bookstore other than the one that's in the village, which actually was when I realized I needed these. There was a Barnes and Noble in that area where we went. So my mom let me walk around there while she went to Old Navy for a little bit, and I did have a little bit of money left, a tiny bit left, like $4 something on the gift card, so I used that up. And I bought the last book in this trilogy, along with some other books as well, which one of them I'm going to show you in a minute. So I'm not exactly halfway through. I mean, I've read a lot, but not like at the half. I'm not like even at the halfway point. So in case you don't know what this one is about, it's this girl this young princess who is to be engaged to a prince from another country. She's never met him, doesn't know anything about him, and she's very apprehensive. She doesn't want to do this. I mean, and she's worried he's gonna be some old dude, and she doesn't like having this responsibility on her shoulders. So she and her lady's maid run away, and they go into the town where her lady's maid grew up, and become, peasants. And meanwhile, the prince that she's supposed to marry and an assassin follow her, and she doesn't know that she meets them, but she doesn't know that one of them is an assassin and one of them is a prince. So she doesn't, and there's a little subplot about her lady's maid. She has a boy that she's in love with, but then, the princess, Leah's her name, Leah finds out from her brother has tracked her down because he's really good at, that kind of stuff, tracking and all that stuff. He's tracked her down, and he's told her that her lady's maid, Pauline's lover, the guy that she's in love with, is actually a real douchebag. He's a bit of a ladies' man. He's got women all over the world, in each in each city, in each town or whatever. And Leah tells Pauline that he died. So Pauline's heart is essentially broken. And that's really it. That's as far as I've gotten so far. And the assassin and the prince are both starting to fall for Leah. They're starting to actually like her and realize, that she's more than just a pampered princess. That's not a surprise. I knew going in this was a love triangle, and and I am not one of those people who's gonna totally dismiss a book if it has a love triangle. Because yeah, it could be annoying and it's cliche, but I'm gonna give the book a chance if the plot sounds interesting, and the plot does sound interesting, and the way people talk about this book on Goodreads, not Goodreads, on here on BookTube, it made me intrigued, and I'm not, and I kind of like the whole princess trope, the lost princess or the princess running away from home and wanting to be more than just the princess, and then realizing that she's not just some pretty girl who's gonna marry some prince and make babies and all that. She realizes there's more to her, and she might have a destiny, or that she's gonna be more than just the pretty girl wearing the tiara, and that she's gonna be this powerful leader for her people. Which is why I also love the movie Princess, Princess Diaries is a book, but the movie is one of my favorites. But I probably won't, I don't know if I'll ever read the books, though. And I heard, I looked it up, because I kind of got an inkling that the books were different, which is no surprise. And I looked up and I just wasn't interested in the differences between the book and the movie. So I'm reading this, and like I said, I'm not even halfway through, and I talked about this in my video on where I talked about my relationship and my struggles with big books, that these are usually a lot of YA and middle grade books are very quick reads. You get them really quickly, and actually, This Is Where I Leave You was also a quick read. It wasn't a young adult book, it was an adult book, but it was still quick, so I was able to get through it. And the same with Animal Farm. It's 10 chapters. So, and I hate to say it, but I do try. I do, even though I know deep down it's not about quantity. It's not about the number of books you read. It's about the fact that you enjoy the books you read. But I do kind of, and I do. It's just I also would like to see myself read more than 4 books in a month. I would feel proud of myself if I did that. But that might not happen. So I might just accept that I'll never get past like the 7 book mark. Because that's the most books I'll read is like 7. I'll get through in a month. But so far, I'm really liking it. I'm not too keen on the whole show, the whole tell. I feel like she does a lot of telling in this book and not enough show. I mean, but other than that, I still am enjoying this, and I would still give it a 3 or 4 stars when I'm done with it. And like I said, I also really love the runaway princess trope. I think that's really, girl power. Okay, so the next book I started reading was another book that I got when I went to Barnes & Noble that day after my eye doctor appointment. And that was this one, Circe. And before you guys ask, I have not read Song of Achilles yet. Now that I'm starting this one, then I'll probably get around to that one soon. I'll probably buy it. Maybe if I go to, like, on my birthday, maybe they'll let me go to one of the bookstores and I can, buy the book there if it's there. But, I am really enjoying, well, no, I can't really say that because I've only got up to chapter, I'm in the middle of chapter 3 because I read some more last night, 2 more chapters last night, but I did not finish and get done with chapter 3 and get to chapter 4 because my dad and my cousin came home and they wanted to go into the village. There was a big, there was a band there and everybody in town was there, one of those kind of things. And then they also talked about going to Hickory Tavern, which is a sports bar, and it was karaoke night, and my dad will not turn down a karaoke night. So we went there, and I didn't get around to this book, and I was just too tired last night. I should have read Kisses of Deception last night in bed, but I knew I was going to fall asleep reading it, so. But if you don't know, which I'm sure there are only a few people who don't know what this book is about, it's about, the famous sorceress, the sorceress from, I don't know if it's the Odyssey or the Iliad. It's like a kind of either a retelling, I think it's like a retelling of her, or like an origin story of the sorceress, Circe. And so far, it's good. It's very interesting. It sticks to the original, what we already are told about the gods and stuff in those in Greek mythology. And right now, I don't like her family, her biological family. I mean, her dad's okay. He's okay. And the brother that she kind of adopted because, her mom realizes that this boy will not be blessed by the gods and he won't marry, and she seems to dismiss the boy, so Circe takes him in and kind of raises him. Not as hers. I mean, she still treats him like a brother, but she and her brother have this strong bond. But she's bullied a lot by her siblings and even her mom. Yes? I'll be down in a little while. Okay, that's fine. Sorry about that. My dad was calling me down. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to happen, but, I wanted to get this video done, so. So her and, of course, the gods have a very low opinion of us mere mortals, but Circe is kind of intrigued by us. Now, I don't know, I've never read the Iliad or the Odyssey, which I don't know if I ever could, because it's just, the way it's written, and it kind of goes back to the, it's an older book, it's much older, it's like one of the first epic fantasies ever written, I think. I just don't think I could do it. I mean, maybe I'll surprise myself one day, maybe when I'm old and gray, I don't know. Of course, I might lose my eyesight by then, but, or maybe I could just, if they ever put it on audio, then maybe I could read it then, I don't know, but, or listen to it, not read it, I should say. And I do not like her family. Like I said, her dad is okay, but her siblings and her mom, who's supposed to love her and be like, and protect her and everything, she's also a bitch to her. But I mean, of course, I know that's a setup for what's to become of the character, and how she's going to become. And I'm assuming that she's going to become a stronger person as the story progresses. It's a good way to learn about get an idea about that whole mythology. I mean, just like I think Rick Riordan's books would also do that for me. I just have no interest in Rick Riordan's books. Maybe I'll get around to it one day. Maybe if Harrison is interested in them, my nephew, or Daniel for that matter, if either of those two are ever interested when they get older, then maybe one day I'll read it. I'll read it with them. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just do it on my own. I mean, it is at the library, so I could get it there if I wanted to check it out. But as of right now, I have no interest. But I think this is a good starting point for me. This is actually what sold me into finally be like, I'm gonna go buy this. I mean, although it's funny because when I went there that day, I was like, I'm not gonna buy this hardback. These hardbacks are more expensive, and this was Barnes & Noble, of course. But then I was like, one second. Hold on. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna buy this. So I bought it. Was like I saw it and I was like, oh, I want that. But actually, what originally motivated me to buy this was actually because Jean from Bookish Thoughts, who loves like antiquity and I think that's how you say it, like ancient literature. And she said this book was great. She really enjoyed this book. So I decided, and I was constantly hearing about it, and finally I just like, I'm gonna buy it. Because I don't think I'll ever read antiquity like she does. But I do love, I do want to read Norse, maybe learn a little bit more about Greek mythology. And like I said, because of that, you would think I would want to read Rick Riordan's books. But as of right now, I don't. I would rather read a more adult version of mythology, not a middle grade version. That's the best excuse I got, is I don't want to read middle grade. I want to read like adult story that retells the story of, like, there's another one that was nominated for the Woman's Prize, I believe, that is kind of also a retelling of a Greek myth. I don't remember which one it is. I hope I can get away with reading these without reading. I mean, I'm still enjoying those first couple chapters. Were definitely interesting. So those are, and then this next book that I want to mention is a book that I haven't started, but I figured it would be a good book to read this month, because it is my birthday month, and it is a retelling of one of my favorite Disney Disney movie / fairy tale, and that is Hunted by Megan Spooner. And this is the retelling of the Beauty and the Beast story. And I had been wanting, I know that Murphy Napier talked about this book and how great it was, and I've been wanting to, and so I wanted to read this, and I already read Cruel Beauty back in February or March, but I didn't want to read this one right after I read that retelling. I wanted to wait a little while, so I waited, and finally I have decided to read this month, my birthday month. And I am, and I also, again, it's another YA novel, so I figure I'll be able to get this done really quickly. But like I said, I might be stuck reading 4 or 5 books this month. But as I've also said, it's not, I do know it's not about the quantity, but sometimes you can't help it. You just want to be able to say, hey, I can read, this many books. I don't know how those people do that. The people who read like 10 or more books. How is it you do that? I mean, I know, it's probably because you read like 24/7. or maybe not exactly 24/7, but you read a lot. And as much as I love reading, I do other stuff. Like I watch TV shows. I, do things with my parents. And I want, I have a job now. And I'm on YouTube. I love looking at YouTube videos. And because I'm kind of a bit of a homebody, my mom and dad kind of pressure me to get out more. So I always, try to get out more, like they would like. Okay, so the next thing so that's my reading. The next thing I wanted to talk about was, well, the original reason why I wrote this, why I decided to make this video, is because I want to talk about unhauling books. Now, I have no problem doing that. And this isn't exactly about unhauling books, because I have no problem with that. I will do that, and I've gotten more, it's become easier and easier. But sometimes I get to the point where, first of all, I'm running out of books that I want to get rid of, that I want to donate, because all the books I have here, I have had them for maybe like a year, or even if the ones I've had longer, I know I will read them. I know that some people will argue, if you've had them for a long time, then, and see, that's part of my problem, is there are at least some of them that it's debatable. But other booktubers have talked about how great these books are. And also, these books are bigger books. And like I mentioned earlier, I did a video on big books and how it's hard for me to read big books. I want to read big books. I really, really want to get into them. But they just take so much more time and devotion. And it's so easy for me to jump into a book like this than a book. I just finished The Secret History at the beginning of this month, and I have been reading that for months. And I finally finished it, and that had breaks in between. So, I'm sorry, I don't know if any of you guys have, those of you who wear glasses, do you have this problem where, like, the actual arms of the glasses kind of irritate or cause an ache on your ear? That's my only problem. My mom was like, when I was fiddling with my sunglasses because of that the day when I had my appointment, she was like, uh-oh, because she knew that I probably would not be pleased with the glasses giving me that problem, because of course, it would be the same situation. But if anyone's ever had that problem, please let me know, and maybe if there's like a solution to it, like maybe I can put Vaseline on my ears or something, I don't know. But like, for instance, the book I'm holding right here, I've had this for a long time, and at the time when I bought it, I did want to read it. I was definitely interested, but was a long time ago. And like, one of my favorite booktubers, Sam from Sam's Nonsense, talks about this book all the time and how great this book is, and she definitely recommends it and thinks I should read. She doesn't think I should read it because she's never interacted with me. I might have commented on her videos, but there's never been any direct interaction between us. But she's always talking about this video and recommending. I always say the wrong word when I'm trying to talk fast. Which I think, by the way, I think it proves what I remember. I watched a video from, I forgot her channel name. Something Olive. I'm drawing a blank here. A Book Olive talked about how, like, people that live on the East Coast talk really fast. And before I moved where I am now I'm kind of more down south. But I was born and raised on the East Coast, farther up north. So I was like, I wonder if I talk fast. And I think I do. I think I do have a habit of talking fast when I get into something and I feel confident in what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I think I do kind of speed up. And I have to be cautious because, especially living farther down south now, I gotta slow down a little bit with my talking. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But Sam, she talked about how great this book is, and she keeps talking, how she would recommend it to people. And I keep thinking about it, and so far this is the only book that I've debated that I think I could get rid of this. I mean, the other ones, I've taken off Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings off my shelf, but I'm not going to donate them. I'm setting them aside for, like, either my nephews or someone else. It's just, it is kind of hard for me, and I know I could do the unhaul challenge that Books and Lala just created, but I don't have enough books that I would be like, okay, I'll get rid of this one or this one, you know? I don't have enough books that I would be willing to part with because I love all these books. I want to read them. I mean, I kind of came close with, I was going to get rid of this book I bought called Phantom, which is the origin story of the Phantom from Phantom of the Opera, but then I saw the original novel Phantom of the Opera in this nice, decent, this nice hardback edition. It's not that glamorous. It's not that pretty, but it was a nice one. You know, it was kind of, and I bought that, so now I feel like I need to keep the Phantom book. Which is interesting. I also keep thinking, my friend is going to be like, that's a romance and you want to read that one. Because I've told her time and again that I have no interest in books where the central plot is romance. And you could argue that Phantom and Phantom of the Opera is a romance. But anyway. So I keep trying to decide if I should get rid of this book. I would probably regret it, but I don't even have the other books in the series. But it is a companion series. And how I define companion series is they are books that, like, they're not direct sequels, but they're still kind of part of the same universe. So you could get away with reading the one book and not reading the rest of the other books. So I feel like part of me is like, well, maybe this should be a book I should get rid of, but another part of me is like, but Sam's Nonsense talks about how great it is, and I probably love it too, and I definitely want to read more, like, adult fantasy, and I have read books like those, like, I read the Dragonlance series, and I really liked that one, and I actually accomplished finishing those books, and I almost wish, and I ended up getting rid of those, but I almost wish I hadn't, because I want to reread those, and one of my Facebook friends loves those books too. And now I want to be able to talk to her about those books. So I totally feel bad that I got rid of them. But it's one of those series where, like, it's kind of like, it's written like how Robin Hobb writes her series, where there's a trilogy of books, and then there's another trilogy, and so on and so forth. Which actually, I almost got rid of Dragon Keeper. I bought that one not realizing that it's probably better to read Robin Hobb books in order. And that is a later trilogy in her series. So I was gonna get rid of that one, but then it was like, but then I decided to ask for them for my birthday, and I kept, other booktubers kept talking about them, so I always feel like, am I gonna regret it if I get rid of a book? That's in there, and that's my problem. I keep thinking, what if I regret getting rid of this book? Which I imagine that every booktuber is probably thinking that, or at least a lot of us are. Or even if you're not a booktube, you're just watching booktube. But like I said, I don't think I could do that unhaul challenge or anything like that, because I don't have enough, and I'm not one of those booktubers that has, like, massive, like, several shelves. I just have this one big shelf. And then I have a little bit of a set of drawers with shelves over there. And then I have my movie shelves. But my mom wanted me to put the DVDs, or all our DVDs up there. Because, I'm the one who watches movies the most in our household. Although I did take some of them off there as movies skipped my dad. So I only really have that one over there. And then, although I do, like, I could find space. Like, I have a desk, the desk that my sister used in college. She gave it to me, and because I wanted a specific a type of desk. I wanted a desk that looked a little old-fashioned and distilled. So my dad got my grandma gave us her old makeup table thing, and my dad painted it a certain way. It's the same color as the desk, actually, the original desk I had. And we came up with alternative versions of legs, and so I didn't want to, so I have that done, so I technically could put books there, and I already kind of have some of those Barnes & Noble editions, the fancy hardback ones that look like old-fashioned books. I have some of those on there, and I could put other books there if I wanted. I could get creative if I wanted to, but my mom hates clutter, so because I live in their house, my mom would be like, especially if we have people coming, family and friends coming from into town, and since my room is the biggest room, so I have to give it up. And so, and like I said, and even if we don't have anyone coming, if my mom comes up to into my room, she'll give me a hard time about that if I have books stacked and not shelved. And she's like, my dad has basically given up. I mean, he was the one that told me he feels like I'm addicted to book buying, which, yes, I will admit that. Because I always buy a book every time I go to the bookstore. I can't just browse. I can't window shop at a bookstore. I just can't do that. And I fully admit it's a problem. And then, but he, at this point, I think he's kind of given up on me. While my mom is like, okay, you can continue buying more books, but then you have to get rid of some books. Because I'm not buying you another shelf. Because at the moment, I can't afford to buy myself another shelf. But who knows, maybe I'll one day find my true love. Maybe he'll buy me more shelf space. So anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about because this video is kind of getting long. So, I hope I can upload this video. I hope it's not too long, and then I can upload it. And if it doesn't upload, then I basically wasted my time rambling about nothing. Well, not nothing, but you know what I mean. If you guys liked this video and weren't bored, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you are passing through and you catch this video and weren't bored and you enjoyed my talking, then please subscribe to my channel. And to all the people who are already subscribed to my channel, love to you all, and enjoy your reading. Alright, bye!